Hello students, our today's uh, topic is IUPAC nomenclature. It is a very basic topic, and organic compounds are the compounds of carbon, hydrogen and some other elements like nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, phosphorus, boron, halogens. They may also be present. Now the reason for large number of organic compounds is a special property of carbon, that is catenation or self-linkage property. It is basically due to that carbon is tetravalent, it forms bonds with almost with all elements, or it forms bond with lot of elements and with itself easily. Then carbon is due to its small size, it forms a very good overlapping with the elements, and it forms multiple bonds, C double bond C, C triple bond C, C triple bond N, C double bond O. So these are the favorable factors for self linkage property of carbon. And then the bond energy of CC sigma bond is high, that's why it forms long carbon chains or cyclic structures, right? So that is what is there. Tetravalency is one factor. Multiple bond formation between carbon, carbon, carbon with other elements also is there. Then bond energy is high. Bond energy is a favorable factor. Then hybridization. Now hybridization mostly we talk here for carbon, which is the sp3 carbon is there, sp2, sp. Firstly, you know that hybridization is what? It's hypothetical concept when atomic orbitals intermix and they generate a new set of orbitals which have same size, same shape, same energy, different orientation. And these orbitals are termed as hybrid orbitals. So this part already you cover in chemical bonding. Then sp3 hybridization, carbon is using 1s and 3p orbitals. sp3 hybridized, how many total hybrid orbitals? 4. sp3 means 4. sp2, 1s and 2p orbitals, total hybrid orbitals 3. Whatever are the atomic orbitals combined, it will also be equal to the number of hybrid orbitals. Then sp hybridized 1s, 1p orbital, how many total hybrid orbitals? 2. Clear? Then like geometry, in case of sp3 it is tetrahedral, in sp2 it is trigonal planar, in sp it is linear. Bond angle is 109.5 degree, sp2 is 120 and sp is 180. Then percentage s character, in sp3 out of 4 orbitals 1 is s, out of 4 1 is s, 1 by 4, that is 25% s character. Then sp2 out of 3 1 is s, 1 by 3 will be around 33.33%. that means s character is 33.33%. you subtract it by 100, you will get percentage p character. Similarly sp out of 2 orbitals 1 is s, that means 50% s character, and more is the percentage s character, more will be the electronegativity of carbon. Clear? That means among these it is carbon of alkane, it is carbon of alkene, it is carbon of alkyne. Clear? And that is why among them which carbon is most electronegative? It is sp carbon, due to 50% s character in it. Clear? Then one example, basic example, CH2 double bond CH2. In this example, this carbon is forming how many sigma bonds? It is forming 3 sigma bonds and 1 pi bond. Here you can see 1 sigma bond, 2 hydrogens are there, 3 sigma bond with this carbon and 1 pi bond. And in hybridization we only count sigma bonds, not pi bonds. So here this carbon is sp2 hybridized. Why? Because you can simply say if it is 3 sigma bond and 1 pi bond, and we know for sp3 carbon 4 sigma bonds has to be there. If there are 3 sigma bonds, then other valency is in pi bond formation, and pi bonds are not counted in hybridization. So total is sp3. If 1 pi bond is there with carbon, that means it is sp2. Similarly this carbon sp2, why? 3 sigma bonds, 1 with carbon, 2 with hydrogen. 3 sigma bonds, that means 1 bond is pi bond, that's why it should be sp2. There is other way also. Number of sigma bonds plus pi bond, number of sigma bonds plus lone pair summation is equal to steric number. This concept already you cover in chemical bonding. So sigma bonds plus lone pair summation, if it is 2 it is sp hybridized, if summation is 3 it is sp2 hybridized, and if it is 4 it is sp3. Any concept you can use which is convenient. It is very basic example, sp, sp2 and sp3. Now in that case, when carbon is sp2 both, that means the geometry is trigonal planar, and in that case all atoms lie in same plane. That's why here written same plane all atoms. That means in this molecule all atoms are in same plane, trigonal planar, and pi orbitals are perpendicular. Always p orbitals are what? P orbitals are formed, pi bonds are formed by lateral overlapping. That is why they are perpendicular to the plane, molecular plane, and they are parallel. It's like this. That is the way. So here electron cloud is above the plane, electron cloud is below the plane. And due to double bond formation, the restricted rotation is there between carbon-carbon. Why? Because the pi bond is due to parallel p orbitals that are in lateral overlapping, so it cannot move freely. Why? Because of the bond will be cleaved if the free rotation is there. So due to double bond or triple bond, there is a restricted rotation. Clear? Then some other concept, basic concepts like hybrid orbitals. Now in this molecule, how many hybridized atoms? Carbon is sp2. sp2 means how many hybrid orbitals? 3. This carbon also sp2. That means again 3 hybrid orbitals. Hydrogen is using its 1s orbitals. It is not hybrid, it is pure orbital. Pure orbital or unhybrid orbital. But carbon is using its hybrid orbitals, that is sp2 plus sp2. That means 3 plus 3, 6 hybrid orbitals in this molecule. Clear? And then how many unhybrid orbitals? Unhybrid orbitals are, firstly hydrogen uses its pure s orbital, that means 2 plus 2, 4 unhybrid orbitals of hydrogen, plus carbon is participating with 3 sigma bonds, and pi bond is due to pure p orbital. Now on each carbon there is 1 p orbital available, because this carbon is sp2, 1 p orbital in pi bond formation. Here also sp2, 1 p orbital in pi bond formation. That's why here how many p orbitals? 2 p orbitals from carbon plus 4 from hydrogen. That makes it 6 unhybrid orbitals. Clear? Then next is benzene. In benzene, carbon is sp2 hybridized. How many carbons? 6. sp2 means how many hybrid orbitals? 3. 6 into 3, 18. 18 hybrid orbitals. Clear? Then how many hydrogens? 6 hydrogens. 6 hydrogens, they are individually using 1s orbital, pure orbital. So 6 for hydrogen. Then plus how many carbons which are using their p orbitals? Each carbon is using 1 p orbital in pi bond formation. 6 carbons, that makes summation 6, that is 12 unhybrid orbitals. Clear? You can practice more such examples. These are some basic type. Then structural formula. We can write the molecule. There are ways, like simple example C3H8, expanded formula is expanded structural formula. We are writing carbon-carbon and each bond is expanded or mentioned separately. Condensed formula, we write it like this: CH3, CH2, CH3. It is condensed formula. Then next is bond structural formula or bond line notation. In bond line notation, we do not mention carbon and hydrogen. Each corner is carbon, each vertex is carbon, 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 carbon. Now to complete the valency, we know there must be 3 more hydrogens. Why? Because this carbon is connected to 1 carbon. That means other 3 will be hydrogen, because we know carbon is tetravalent. Therefore CH3, this carbon is connected to 2 carbons. That means other 2 are hydrogens. So CH2, CH3. This is a bond line notation. Now next is homologous series. Now it is a series of similarly constituted compounds that they contain same functional groups. They have same chemical behavior, similar chemical properties, but there is regular increase in their physical properties or regular gradation in their physical properties, that are termed as homologous series, and each consecutive member differs by CH2 group. Each consecutive member differs by CH2 group. Suppose methane, next ethane, then propane. So they have similar chemical behavior. but there is regular gradation, increase in their physical properties because of more molecular mass, more van der Waals force of attraction. So physical properties keep on increasing, gradation in their physical properties, chemical behavior remains similar, that and each consecutive members differs from each other by CH2 group. We can take methanol, ethanol, propanol, butanol like this. Clear? Homologous series. Then degree of carbon and hydrogen. Firstly, degree of carbon. Basic terms: primary carbon, secondary carbon, tertiary carbon and quaternary carbon. Primary carbon means the carbon which is connected to one carbon. It is termed as primary carbon. And the hydrogen which is attached to primary carbon is termed as primary hydrogen. Secondary carbon means carbon attached to two other carbons. It is secondary carbon, and the hydrogen which is attached to secondary carbon, it is termed as secondary carbon. Tertiary carbon is attached to three other carbons, and the hydrogen which is attached to tertiary carbon is called as tertiary hydrogen. Quaternary carbon means it is attached to four other carbons and it has no hydrogen. Why? Because already it is connected to four other carbons. So one example will make it clear. In this example, we have to mark firstly how many primary carbons, then secondary carbon, tertiary and quaternary. This carbon connected to one carbon, primary. This one also, and this one also. How many primary carbons are there? There are total 5 primary carbons. Then this carbon is connected to 1, 2, 3 other carbons. It is tertiary. Tertiary carbon, and there is no other tertiary. One tertiary. Secondary carbon connected to 2 other carbons, and it is only one in this structure. Secondary is also one. Quaternary carbon, it is connected to 4 other carbons. Clear? Now similarly we can find out how many primary hydrogens. With each primary carbon, how many hydrogens? 3. How many primary carbons are there? 5. That means there are 15 primary hydrogens. Secondary carbon is only 1. How many secondary hydrogens? 2 are there. That means 2 secondary hydrogens and 1 secondary carbon. Tertiary carbon is 1, and tertiary carbon contains only 1 hydrogen to 1 tertiary hydrogen. That is the way we can find out degree of carbon and hydrogen. Then next term is classification of organic compounds. Organic compounds classify into open chain structure and closed chain structure. Open chain or acyclic compounds, or other term is aliphatic compounds. We can further classify them as saturated and unsaturated compounds, or we can say alkane and alkene-alkyne, right? Alkanes, butane, ethane, methane, propane, open chain structures which are not containing any double bond, carbon-carbon double bond or triple bond. They are saturated, and total naming is aliphatic. They are termed as aliphatic compounds also. Unsaturated, ene, diene, ine, diene, ene, they are all in unsaturated compounds. Clear? Then closed chain or cyclic compounds. In closed chain or cyclic compounds, we can classify them as homocyclic compounds and heterocyclic compounds. As the name it is, homo means same. In homocyclic compounds, the ring contains only carbon. Clear? In heterocyclic compound, apart from carbon, some other element may also be present in the ring. That is why they are heterocyclic compounds, and these are homocyclic, in which the ring is composed only of carbon. Then in homocyclic, we further classify as alicyclic compounds and aromatic compounds. Now in alicyclic compounds, firstly they are homocyclic. So basic example I will give alicyclic is cyclopropane or butane, or we can write double bond also. They are example of alicyclic. Even we can say aliphatic cyclic. In NCERT the term given with them is aliphatic cyclic also. Clear? So if it is any statement type question is there, do not get confused. Alicyclic in bracket in NCERT given aliphatic cyclic. Then in homocyclic aromatic compounds further classified as benzenoid and non-benzenoid. Benzenoid means they contain benzene ring, they are aromatic firstly, and they contain benzene ring. Second one, non-benzenoid, they are aromatic but they do not contain benzene ring. If we talk about benzenoid, like this one, benzene is there, or toluene is benzenoid compound. Non-benzenoid compound, this compound is non-benzenoid. It is aromatic but it is containing not benzene ring. Clear? Then next part, heterocyclic compound. In heterocyclic compound, ring is there, ring is composed of carbon and some other element may also be present, that is why heterocyclic. Alicyclic, aromatic. In alicyclic compound, in heterocyclic we can say like this, cyclic ether. These are examples of alicyclic compounds. In heterocyclic, aromatic compounds, furan, pyrrole, pyridine. You can add more examples depending on the theoretical part you get from the other books. So these are the examples in which ring is composed of carbon and some other element like oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur can also be present. These are the examples which are aromatic rings and they are heterocyclic. Clear? Now next is the meaning of some basic terms like N-compound, N-butane, N-pentane, N-hexane. That means normal compounds. N-compound means normal compounds. If it is N-butane, that means a straight chain of carbon. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 unbranched carbon chain or straight chain, we term it as N-compound. Second one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is straight chain of carbon. So in common naming, we can say it is N-hexane. N means normal, hexane 6 carbon. If N-pentane means straight chain of 5 carbons. These terms can be used in any question, then you can directly write down the structure. That is the use of writing these some common type of naming. Then iso compounds. Now iso term is also considered in alphabetical preference in IUPAC, right? But generally we use it as for 4 to 6 carbon atoms only. The significance is only up to 4 to 6 carbon atoms. So here iso compound, that is the structure of iso group. CH3, CH, CH3 and there is connectivity with the carbon chain. Significance is up to 4 to 6 carbon atoms, or we can say in the straight chain of carbon on second carbon there is methyl group. On any of the terminal CH3 group is present on second carbon, that is also termed as iso compound. Isoalkyl, now in that case this part is iso and one more carbon is attached, that means total carbons 4. This is isobutyl. If I add one more carbon there, isopentyl, and if I mention there OH, the name becomes iso 4 carbon butyl alcohol. That is common name. Isobutyl alcohol is common name. You should understand the meaning of isobutyl. This compound contains primary carbon, secondary carbon, but only one tertiary carbon. Clear? And then if any group is present, it will be attached to primary carbon there, that makes it here isobutyl alcohol. Then neo compound. In neo compounds we have this type of arrangement. Primary carbons are there, only one quaternary carbon. Secondary carbon may also be present, but no tertiary carbon. Primary carbon are present, one quaternary carbon is there, and secondary carbon may also be present. Again, significance is not much, like it is minimum, it should be 5 and then 5, 6, 7. You won't get much examples. That's why I'm saying important is that you know what is the meaning of these compounds, because any question is given neopentyl alcohol, you should be able to write its structure. That is the only significance of understanding these terms. So here if I put there CH3, not further branch, it is termed as neopentane. This group is neopentyl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 neopentyl group. For example, in this case, this is neo group. Clear? On the straight chain of carbon, on the terminal carbon, on the second carbon, 2 methyl groups. On the second carbon, 2 methyl groups is also indication of neo-alkyl group. Remember, significance is not beyond 6, 7, beyond 7 or 8. Mostly we use neopentyl, neohexyl, that's mostly. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that means it is neohexyl, and any group if present, it will be attached to primary carbon on this side, that is neohexyl alcohol. Here the neo compound means this type of arrangement on the straight carbon chain, on second carbon from the terminal side, 2 methyl groups, or you can say neo compounds, primary carbon there, 1 quaternary carbon there, secondary carbon may be present but no tertiary carbon. Then other types is secondary compounds, we represent it by sec word. Here it is CH3, CH, CH2, CH3, and with the secondary carbon there is any group attached, that's why it is sec butyl. It is termed as sec butyl compound, and if I mention there OH, so here name will be sec butyl alcohol. If I write there Cl, it becomes sec butyl chloride. So here any group which is present, it should be with secondary carbon, that is sec compound. Then tertiary compounds. In tertiary compound, this type of arrangement, primary carbon is there, then there will be secondary carbon possible, but only one tertiary carbon, and any group if present will be attached to tertiary carbon, that's why this is termed as tertiary compound. So here firstly see primary, 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 and one tertiary, it is tertiary butyl group. It is which group? Tertiary butyl, and if I put there Cl or OH, this becomes tertiary butyl alcohol. Clear है ये? So till this point it is tertiary butyl group. Any group if present, it should be with tertiary carbon. Here how many carbons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is tertiary pentyl, and if I mention there Cl, it is termed as tertiary pentyl chloride. Clear है ये? So these are some common terms which can be used directly in the questions. Then we should be able to write the structure of the compound. Now we start with the nomenclature part, that how to write correct sequence while doing IUPAC naming. Starting with the prefix. How many types? 2. Secondary prefix, primary prefix, right? Then root word. After that we write suffix, primary suffix and secondary suffix. Clear? That is the sequence: prefix, root word and suffix. Prefix 2 types: secondary, which represents branching or substituents present in the parent chain or main chain. We will select the parent chain, and the groups which are not part of the parent chain, we term them as prefixes. Then primary prefix, it is used for the cyclic compounds. Primary prefix for cyclic compounds, and we use the term cyclo. Root word, it represents the number of carbon atoms in the parent chain, right? How many carbons are in the parent chain, this part will be represented by root word. Then we use meth, eth, prop, but, pent, hex, hept, oct, non, dec, like this we use. Mostly we use 5 to 7 carbon atoms, but we should know till 10, till 11, 12. Then suffix, primary suffix is used for representation of saturation or unsaturation in the parent chain. If there is a carbon-carbon single bond, we use the term ane. If there is a double bond present, we use the term ene. If there is a triple bond present in the parent chain, we use the term ine. The 2 double bonds, diene, 2 triple bonds, diene. Double bond mixed with triple bond, we use the term ene. How to use, we will do the example. Then secondary suffix, it represents functional group present in the parent chain. Like if it is aldehyde, we use al. Carboxylic acid, we use oic acid. So secondary suffix is used to represent the functional group present in the parent chain. Clear? That is the sequence we follow to write the nomenclature. Now as for IUPAC, some groups are always treated as prefixes. Some groups are always treated as substituents or prefixes, like alkyl group. So R part which is alkyl group, R which is not the part of parent chain. We select the parent chain, and the carbon chain which is not part of the parent chain is termed as alkyl group, like methyl, ethyl, propyl, isopropyl. Or which groups are treated as substituents? Are always alkoxy group. Ethers, we can say ROR. OR is always treated as prefix. Then halogens, chloro, bromo, fluoro, iodo. These are also treated as substituent always. Then nitro group, it is always treated as substituent. Nitroso group, diazo group. So these are, or azo group, but most commonly we use alkyl halogens or ethers. Nitro is also possible. Remaining examples you won't get easily. Then in starting with alkanes. Alkanes means saturated hydrocarbon. We are not going to put any multiple bond now and functional group, because these examples will come later on in systematic process. Right now we'll totally a basic example, like carbon chain is there and there is no unsaturation, no functional group is present. Now what is the rule? Simply select the longest carbon chain and give minimum number to the substituents. Select longest carbon chain and give minimum number to the substituents. Like in this case, if we select longest chain like straight chain, 6 carbon atoms, right? And how many substituents? Only one substituent. At which position? Third position from right side, because selection of the parent chain is there, which is longest chain, and one substituent is present. Now if I select that one, L shape, 1 2 3 4 5 6, it is also 6. Straight chain also 6. Now when we have tie up, like size of the parent chain is same, in that case select that longest chain which has maximum number of substituents. Select longest chain. From both sides we are getting same size of the parent chain, then select that longest chain which contains maximum number of substituents. So here if you select, this will be how many? 6, and how many substituents? 1 2. If you select longest chains as straight chain, in that case you will get only one substituent. So now this should be the parent chain and these two are substituents. One is CH3 group alkyl methyl group and CH2CH3 ethyl group. Now when we have the substituents, we have numbered them. We always write prefixes in their alphabetical order. Substituents are written in alphabetical order. So ethyl comes prior to methyl, and when we do numbering, we start numbering from there so that they get least number. So how do we name it? You can write it simultaneously. At third position it is ethyl. So 3 ethyl, 2 methyl hexane. 3 ethyl, third is the position of the ethyl group. Alphabetically we are writing it. Second position methyl, 3 ethyl, 2 methyl, and then hexane. Then next example, longest chain is straight, that is 5 carbon atoms. Now we have two substituents, one is Cl, one is Br. If you start from the left side, you will get second number for Cl and fourth number for Br. Similarly, if you start from the right side, you will get second number for Br and fourth number for Cl. Selection of the longest chain is same. Substituents are also getting same number. Tie-up is there. Longest chain same. Two substituents, both are getting same numbering. One is getting 2, one is getting 4. From the other side, one is getting 2, other is getting 4. When the tie-up is completely there, then at the end, again I am using the term, at the end we go for alphabetical preference. Firstly, we check by other ways. Minimum number should be given. If minimum number is there, we should go by the minimum number. But if numbering is also same, then from which side we prefer? Where alphabetically we are getting a substituent earlier. Like here, right side we are getting bromo, second number. Left side we are getting chloro, second number. Now both are getting 2 number, second number 2. Now which we will prefer? We prefer bromo, because at the end what is preferred? Alphabetical preference. So numbering should start from right side. Clear? Now we name it alphabetically. We name it. It is 2-bromo 4-chloropentane. I'm repeating it. 2-bromo 4-chloropentane. Next example. Now in this case, select longest chain. Longest chain will be simply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can take 6-membered straight chain because other possibility is also 6. Now in this case, we have selected the longest chain. Then we give minimum number to substituents. If we start from right side, 1, 2, 3. Second and third position, 4, 5. So what is the substituents? 2, 4, 5. From the right side, it is 2, 4, 5. If you start from left, 2, sorry, it is 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 5. 2, 3, 5 is from the right side. From the left side, it is 2, 4, and then 5. Now in this case, we are not getting same numbering for the substituents. So we do not go for alphabetical preference. What point we will consider? Select longest chain and give minimum number to the substituents. So you are getting second number, right side second number, left side also second number to the substituent. Then next number is 3, but their next number is 4. If you start from the right side, you get third number for the second substituent, and from left side you get fourth number for second substituent. That is the rule of first point of difference. Whenever you get the difference, go for that one where less number is present. That means no need to check further, and no use of sum rule. Sometimes you use sum or the lowest sum of the locant rule. Leave that one. Use rule of first point of difference. In that case, numbering will start from right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, when we name it, we write it in alphabetical order. That means 5-bromo. Then at second and third, same type of substituents, that is methyl. How many times? 2 times. Then we use di. If there are 3 times, we use tri. That means here it is 5-bromo. Then 2, 3 dimethyl hexane. Clear? Next example is less important but given in NCERT, you should know. Mostly the important example arises from the functional groups. That's why I'm only touching this part so that you can do more examples, understand it and go ahead till the functional group part where we will start. In that case, longest chain will be that one. Okay. Now, in this case, we have 2 substituents. One is this part, one is this part, and they both are identical. It is CH, CH3, CH3. In this case, we have a substituent, and that substituent itself contains one substituent. How? Whenever we have a substituent carbon which is attached to the parent chain, this carbon is a first carbon of side chain. 1 dash you can use, 1 dash, 2 dash, or 1, 2. It is understood that this is the parent chain, and the carbon which is attached to parent chain, carbon of the side chain which is attached to the parent chain, this carbon becomes first in the side chain. Now this side chain maximum size is 2, 1, 2 or 1, 2, and if 1, 2 we take like this, this carbon becomes another substituent in the substituent. Substituent in the substituent is considered to be a complex substituent. Substituent within the substituent, that makes it whole as a complex substituent. Similarly above, 1, 2. On first carbon methyl group, and longest side chain of the substituent is of 2 carbon, and both are identical. Now if you remember, if for simple substituents we use di, tri, tetra, but for complex substituents we use bis, tris, etc. Most commonly bis, tris, bulky examples are not asked, otherwise bis, tris, tetrakis, pentakis, etc. So here, in this case, at fourth position, how many times we have? 2 times, 2 substituent. Twice we mention 4, 4. Then bis, because it is a complex substituent. 4, 4 bis. Then in small brackets, we will mention what are the substituents. Methyl is present at which position? First position in the substituent. It's 1-methyl, or simply you can mention methyl ethyl. Methyl is substituent inside the substituent, so mention it first. Methyl, then parent chain of the substituent ethyl, bracket close. Already we have considered bis, that means twice it is done. 4 bis in small brackets, 1-methyl ethyl, bracket close, then root word is oct and ane, because there is no unsaturation. That is the name of this complex compound. Then some important points like isoterm, neoterm. Iso, neo, di, tri of complex substituents are considered for alphabetical preferences. Like iso, I, neo, n, di, tri of complex substituent. Sometimes in complex substituent we use the term di. Already bis is there, tris is there. Inside the small bracket we have the term dimethyl. In that case we consider di, d and tri, t for alphabetical preference. But where we are not considering secondary compounds, sec term is used. S is not considered. Tertiary compound like tertiary butyl, T is not considered for alphabetical preference. Bis, tris, B and T are not considered for alphabetical preference. Similarly, di-tri of simple substituents like dichloro, dimethyl, there we do not consider D or T in alphabetical preference. So where we consider iso, neo and di-tri of complex substituents. Now next are the examples from the double bond, unsaturated hydrocarbons and cyclic compounds. In first example, double bond is present. Now in this case we select longest chain and give minimum number to multiple bond, right? Select longest chain, give minimum number to multiple bond, and here there is no functional group. If functional group is there, then slight changes will be there. Priority for the functional group is first one, then multiple bonds. So here multiple bond, select longest chain, give minimum number to multiple bond. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clear? When you name it at fourth position substituent, you can write it also simultaneously. Fourth position is substituent, that means 4-methyl, then pent 2. At second position we have an unsaturation. 4-methyl pent 2-ene. That's it. Next one, there are two multiple bonds. So select longest chain with maximum number of multiple bonds and then give minimum number to multiple bonds. The longest chain will be straight one starting from left side, because first number is there for multiple. If you start from the right hand side, it will be second number. Then it becomes, now remember one thing, if same type of multiple bond is coming twice or more than twice, same type like double bond twice or more than twice, or triple bond twice or more than twice, then add word A. Add A or add word A in the root word. Like if it is but, it becomes buta, pent, penta, hex, hexa. So here it is penta. Why? Because same type of multiple bond is coming twice. So it becomes penta. Done. Position of multiple bond, first and third. Penta 1, 3. Twice come, that's why first and third. Then how many times? It is 2 times. Diene. Penta 1, 3 diene. Similar examples are there in your notes. You can try these examples also. Next example. Multiple bonds are there, but there are two different types. One is triple bond, one is double bond. Now we still go for the standard point, that select longest chain, give minimum number to the multiple bonds. So here when you start from left side, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 4 is the number in which multiple bond we are getting first number for alkyne and fourth number for double bond. If you start from right hand side, 1, 4. Now numbering is common. There is same numbering you are getting, 1, 4 for multiple bond for left side and 1, 4 from right hand side. Now there is a tie up. Which side we go? When there is a tie up, again listen carefully, when there is a tie up, then select that side which is from double bond. But the condition is there must be a tie-up, then only we select which part, double bond preferred over triple bond. If there is exact tie-up in all the conditions like numbering, naming, substituent if present, if it is also getting the same number from both sides, then we give preference to double bond. So here tie-up is there, numbering will start from right side. In this case, we are not going to use A in the root word. Why? Because there are two different types of multiple bond. One is triple bond, one is double bond. If there are two same type, then we use A in the root word. So here we simply say but 1 in and 4 ine. But 1 in and 4 ine. In next example, again select longest chain, give minimum number to multiple bond. 1, 4. 1 and 4 from left side. 1, 2. Now you are not getting at first position multiple bond. You are getting at second position for multiple bond from right hand side. Now which is preferred? Select longest chain, give minimum number to multiple bond. Here multiple bond, whether double bond or triple bond, here it is getting less number from left hand side. So listen carefully. If there is firstly we always check select longest chain, give minimum number to multiple bonds. So here we are getting first number, from right side we are getting second number. Then when you name it, name sequentially that it is root word hex, then 4 in 1 ine, alphabetically E prior to Y, hex 4 in and 1 ine. Next example, cyclic compound, ring structure, and these are side chains. Side chain of 2 carbons, side chain of 1 carbon. So parent chain is cyclic ring. Then select the parent chain is cyclohexane. Then substituents are present. Give minimum number to substituent. If you start from there, first position 2 substituents, that means 1, 1. Second, third, that means this is the correct numbering. If you start from ethyl, first number for ethyl, but third number for 2-methyl, and remember minimum number to substituent, because here there is no multiple bond, no functional group. So when you name it alphabetically, it becomes 3-ethyl 1,1-dimethyl cyclohexane. 3-ethyl 1,1-dimethyl cyclohexane. In next example, ring is there, 3-membered ring, and side chain again 3-membered. Now in this case, if you select ring as the parent chain, you get 1 substituent. If you select side chain as the parent chain, you get 2 substituent, one is Cl, one is cyclopropyl ring. So select side chain as parent chain, which is again 3 carbon atoms, and alphabetically CYCH, you can go for CH, 1, 2, 3. It becomes 1 chloro, 3 cyclopropyl and propane. Clear? Then now we are starting with the main part, which is the functional groups. Seniority order is there of the functional groups. Remember it is in your notes also, starting with carboxylic, sulfonic, anhydride, ester, acid halide, acidamide, cyanide, aldehyde, ketone, alcohol, thiol, and amine. So learn that part. It is for the seniority order of the functional groups. Now starting with the functional groups. First is carboxylic group. Now when the functional group is present, select the carbon chain which contains senior functional group. And if junior functional groups are there, they all becomes prefix. So select the longest chain with the functional group present, principal functional group present, then multiple bond numbering will be given, then substituents will be considered. So starting with the prefix of carboxylic group is carboxy. In your notes it is written systematically, revise that part. Prefix is carboxy. Suffix, there are 2 suffixes, one is oic acid, one is carboxylic acid. For example, in first one, select longest chain and give minimum number to carbon containing, that is first number to COOH. Longest chain is 4 only. Why? Because carboxylic carbon will be always 1. It is open chain structure. And at second position there is a substituent. Which substituent? Ethyl. When you name it, it becomes 2-ethyl butanoic acid. 2-ethyl butanoic acid. In second example, it is carboxylic acid, COOH. In this case, carboxylic group is not on the acyclic, it is in the closed chain structure. So the carbon of the ring becomes first where carboxylic group is present. So that is why here we do not use alkanoic word, here we use carboxylic acid. On which ring? Three-membered ring. It becomes cyclopropane carboxylic acid. Clear? Third, it is very standard example, benzoic acid, because previously they were common names but these are now IUPAC accepted. So more appropriate is benzoic acid or benzene carboxylic acid. Clear? So these are few examples of carboxylic acid group.